Merry Mate and welcome. Today we're going to be taking on making challah bread, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I know it's been introduced very incorrectly and then reintroduced by people still not pronouncing it right, so yes. Anyways, I again always read your instructions ahead of time. I realized it was better to start with the flour off to the side in a different bowl than in our biggest bowl. So this is kind of why you see some flour here, but it's gonna be fine. Everything's okay. What we're going to go ahead and do now is we are mixing together our water, we're mixing together our salt, our sugar, and our oil. Ooh, awesome. So anyways, I am just hoping to accomplish this bread. I've made bread before, even with you guys, you know, so I am not too nervous about that part. It is simply making sure that it is respectful, I guess. It's just crazy out here. You never know. You just don't know anymore. So we're just going to trust that the people who are finding here are just nice people who understand we're just having fun. We're just cooking. We're just trying out new things inspired by video games. Yeah. Well, and TV, right? The media in a whole. So anyways, there we go. That's all mixed together. I did go ahead and you'll see the recipe link below. It has the instructions to next go ahead and mix in your yeast, your dash of sugar, and your water. I went ahead and did that ahead of time since you have to wait 5 minutes for it anyway. And so we have that here off to the side. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the flour a little bit at a time. So we're going to add in about a cup of the flour, so about a third, if you will. And just gonna get that all mixed in together. And so we're not trying to get all the clumps out of it, we're just trying to kind of get it all wet, if you will. So it's not gonna look perfect just yet, but that's the glory. We will just constantly be mixing, because that's what you do with bread, right? You just constantly mix. But yeah, so this is going to be a decent place to put it. If you want to, you can keep going and using the back of your spoon or however you're mixing to get those little lumps. But you can also move on to the next part where we're going to go ahead and we're going to add about a half cup, so a 6 if you will. I'm just going to do about a scoop full myself versus any kind of true measurement. And then with this, we're also going to add in the yeast. And now we're going to mix this all in together. Sorry about that. Got a call in the middle. So I'm just continuing to add my flour at this point. And so it says to just like continue add in slow amounts. So I'm actually going to listen for once instead of just adding in the rest, because there's not that much left. But as you can see, it is going to start getting harder to incorporate the flour. So that's why we want to go ahead and take it nice and slow. But we're getting that doughy texture, so very exciting. Just sounded like my thing almost broke. I am only resistant for doing half. So now there goes the rest of it. And yeah, here we go. From here, we're gonna get it as dough-like as possible before we dump it out and knead it for about 10 minutes. I'm so excited. It's so cold in here. Like, I'm excited to literally heat up my home with the smell of bread being toasted. But okay, so at this point, because I just think it'll be easier to knead with my own hands, we're gonna move this to the side slightly. We have some flour, so we're gonna flour our surface right here live. But along with our hands, very important for this. And then it's literally just going to be to the side here, so in case I need more of it. This sweater, definitely going to get flour all over it. This is why you wear an apron, like, for sure. Do I have 3 aprons? Yes. Am I wearing any of them? No. Because my whole logic is like, well, I'm just going to like make it dirty anyway. Like, it's still laundry, you know what I mean? And so my aprons tend to be more like decorative and like have cute things on them. But here we are, here we go. Get the little dough rinse because that's technically liquid on there and that's why it's still stuck. And then from here, I'm just going to squish it all together at first because since it is all separate, we definitely know that we want to just get those pieces in there. I'm loving this dough though. I love dough. It's just so fun, right? I guess if anyone who like enjoyed Play-Doh. And then we're going to slowly knead and pick up those pieces as we need to. And then I'm going to bring in some more flour into here. And here we go. We're just going to knead for about 10 minutes. Grab any more flour as we need to. And I'm going to put it in a bowl. Put some flour on top of it. I'm gonna oil the bowl because I feel like that's normally what you do, but I don't know, maybe I'll reread the recipe and we'll see if that's what I do or not. So be sure to check that below. But yeah, I always get worried. I'm like, what if I overwork it? But then I guess like technically on some breads you want to really be sure to working them, and if you don't work them enough, then like they aren't successful. Like that's when they like look for the gluten window. I'm not gonna be doing that. We're just gonna trust in fate and trust that doing this for 10 minutes is going to be good for us. So like I said, I'm gonna put this in a bowl. We're gonna put a towel over it and we're gonna let it rise for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to be back here to actually finish forming the dough. So with that, I will check in with you guys soon. Merry meet again. So here we are. It did not raise very much, so I'm a little nervous about that, but we shall go ahead and move forward. We're going to break this up into 3 pieces. You know, my normal method is just do pinch and twist. I just want to make sure they're somewhat level. Okay, and so with this, now what we're going to do with these individual dough balls is we're going to go ahead and lengthen them completely. I probably could have done this on the surface there, but I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just go ahead and use the pan itself. This is, after all, like a non-sticky surface. But now here we are struggling to get these long enough. But it also may be because it didn't get... sorry, it keeps hitting the wall and it's like frustrating me. So I'm trying to like avoid that. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna try and get these as long as possible. So I'm just gonna massage them out in length a little bit, and then we'll also roll them to get back the form and then help gain our elasticity back again. Okay, and so also for these, if you were going to be stuffing them, so we're going to do this for all 3, if you were going to be stuffing them, you would be able to like either make divots and stuff them individually, or you could even make a whole line throughout it and stuff it that way. But we're going to go ahead because we're recognizing that our we don't have as much as we would like. So we're gonna go ahead, finish rolling out all 3 of these, and then we'll be back when we are actually starting to braid them. So check in with you super soon. Merry meet again. Here we go. So we have them here. We're just gonna turn this and we're going to go ahead and braid them. And so I'm gonna go ahead. This one is the one that's the most underneath. And I could have pinched this a little bit more. We're gonna tuck that more even later. And so we're only gonna get like the minimalist braid, to be honest, because we just don't have it as stretched out as we really wish we could have. But that's okay, because look, we got it a little bit. Oh my gosh, fantastic. And so now I'm gonna go ahead, pinch these ends, and then she recommends to tuck them underneath. And so what I'm also going to go ahead and do is, we're going to somewhat undo this actually. And we're going to stretch them out this way again. And so now we're kind of like under braiding, which I'm not that good at, but it's going to help us get a little bit more uniform of a look. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there because I'm losing control of it. But oh my gosh, look at that. Holla. No. Oh my gosh. That was embarrassing for us all. I'm leaving. Wow. Thank you for being here. Like, I'm so sorry. But we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna cover this again, and we're going to let it continue to rise. I want to try to make sure this is not gonna pop open later, so I'm just gonna turn it a little bit here. Really get that tucked in, because this one, it didn't have as much, so it's easier to kind of pinch and have. That one's gonna be like a fun little bit to probably tear off. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love making braided bread. Anyways, so we're gonna let this rise for about 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna preheat my oven within that time frame, and then we're gonna bake it for about 20 minutes before taking it out, and we'll check in during that time frame about why we're taking out and what we're doing. So we'll see you then. Marry me again. So here we are, 20 minutes in, oven's still hot. This is our non-dairy milk and syrup mixture. It's just equal parts according to our recipe, and we're going to be putting this on top of our, ooh, sorry, it's sizzling. It looks so good. I love it already. But if you are adding toppings after this, that you would use this as kind of like your sticky base to help your toppings stick. I probably might have been able to do this a little bit sooner. I honestly, since this is my first time ever making this, wanted to be as true to the recipe as possible. So we are only going to be putting it, oh, that was on me. That was a bad pour. I definitely could add more if I really wanted to. I'm not going to, since it's my own fault that it missed. So I'm just not going to. But I don't think there's any, like, you can put however much you want. With that being said, we're going to put it back in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then she says you can have it hot or you can let it cool, and it tastes even better after being cooled. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm actually going to go ahead and work on the matzo ball soup, and I'm going to have all of this together. So haha, you'll get to see that video next week. But I'll see you real soon when we are taste testing the challah bread. See you then. Bye. Marry me again. So we just moved over here because we are transitioning our camera for the other part of the video. So I just figured we would do the review here. So definitely should have gone back and added more of that glaze because it really helps it make taste. Like, I don't know if you've been to like one of those like restaurants where they have like those honey butter biscuits like for free. I think like Logan's was the one in Arizona, and it was just like so good. That's what this tastes like. So if I would have added more of that, would have had it really good. I like so many types of this. I just feel like it's such a great recipe in general. And also I feel like I did a pretty good bake on this, considering that like we didn't get too much of a rise. And yeah, I am feeling very happy about this. Obviously this tore apart decently enough for me. I'm gonna go ahead, enjoy this loaf of it, and then have some more with our soup once we're done. But I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next video. Bye.